Before we look ahead, let's look back. What was your first Super Bowl like that you called, Brent?
I can't. Well, listen, Joe Namath was a guest NFL Today. It was in Miami, so it would have been the Steelers and the Cowboys because it was Lynn Swann
Wow.
on that far side reaching out, making a great reception of a pass from Terry Bradshaw. That was the first one. Now the first one I covered was as a newspaper man, and that was Super Bowl I. And I still have, Amy and Suzy, I still have in a box someplace here in Montana, tickets to Super Bowl I that Pete Rozelle gave me, and I couldn't even give away.
Oh,
Think
wow.
about that. I think they were $25 a ticket, something like that. They were decent seats, but nobody wanted to go. We were not sold out for Super Bowl I, and it was a great experience. Hank Stram and the Chiefs were always available. They were in Long Beach practicing. He welcomed us to come in because remember, the NFC, that was the top of the mountaintop. And Vince Lombardi was concerned that he might lose the game. So he took the Packers up to Santa Barbara, and we really did not have access to Lombardi and the team. Now, that did not stop Paul Hornung and Max McGee from breaking curfew the night before the game. And then guess what? Max McGee is the MVP. You can still remember from Super Bowl I that great reach out for that touchdown pass as Max trotted on into the end zone. What a great guy he was. And then the other one I remember as a newspaper man was Super Bowl III, of course. And we were all seated out at the swimming pool with one Joe Namath in Fort Lauderdale. So great memories of the Super Bowl. But its growth is unbelievable. I mean, I think the cheapest ticket down in New Orleans this week is something around $4,000. Amy, think about that. $4,000 to watch a football game.
Now, that poolside conversation, I recall, led to a very famous Joe Namath moment. Would you share that with us, please?
Well, we went into the hotel. We drove up field bus riders, and we weren't necessarily looking for Namath. We were just looking for anybody from the Jets. And it was in the afternoon, and we knew that the team had practiced. So we went in, and the bellman said, "Hey, Joe Namath is out at poolside." So we walked out, and there was a whole group of people around where he was stretched out on the lounge, and you can see them there on the screen. I'm on the far left, and Ray Sons of the Sun-Times is right next to me. And you can see the fans coming up. They were getting autographs. And then a couple in New York. And you see that guy with a hat right behind him kind of bending over the lounge there. "Hey, Joe, how you going to do? Who's going to win this Super Bowl?" "We are. I guarantee it." And he said it in a matter-of-fact way. It wasn't braggadocio at all. He just said to the guy, "We're going to win it." And lo and behold, of course, the Jets went out, and they did more than for bringing the AFL and the NFC and the AFC together than any game in the history of football. I'm not so sure the merger would have gone through, to be perfectly honest.
Right,
Although Mr. Davis did one thing when he said, "We're going to go out and sign your best players."
Yep.
That was a wake-up call, too, to the NFL.
And he did it on the field before games. They went down. They signed the players.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. And that picture, wow, that is an iconic moment, an iconic picture.
Can you imagine a moment like that happening today?
No, the security would not let you close to him. No, absolutely, positively not. See those fans back there? I mean, and there's Cy Burek has a newspaper over his head. He was from Dayton, Ohio. Chuck Heaton is to the right. He was from the Cleveland Plain Dealer over there. Jerry Green is behind Sons on the left side. He was from the Detroit Free Press. But the rest of those people in behind him, they're just ordinary fans. Neither group would be able to get close to anybody in a Super Bowl setting today. Security would absolutely prevent it. It's a wonderful, wonderful moment in Super Bowl history.
Who is that woman leaning over? Do we know who that was?
No, she was a lady wanted. She
wanted
get
an autograph? Okay.
Yeah, she wanted an autograph. No, that's
we just want to make sure she didn't want she just wanted to have the key.
Yeah,
got to keep this a PG podcast. Brent, I look at that and I wonder, when you see Joe today, do you guys reminisce about that? What comes up in conversation?
Yeah, we kind of, honestly, it's the only time in my life that I've ever asked an athlete for an autograph. And I have that photo framed up here in Montana with Joe's autograph on it. And yeah, we laughed about it. And then that night, he honestly, he went to a country club. He was paid to go for a banquet that night, in which he got up, spoke to the audience. And again, he said, we're going to win the game Sunday. I guarantee it. He repeated what he had said at poolside that night. So it was a different era. And
Very different.
My goodness. Yeah, Joe and I, we laugh about it, but I love that picture.
Check out new episodes of What the Football with Suzy Shuster and Amy Trask every Tuesday. Watch us on the Rich Eisen Show YouTube page or follow and listen wherever you get your podcasts.